Hey guys, so I'm going to teach you today about double entendre. To be able to take these notes, because remember double entendre and also dramatic irony, they're both going to come up on the Act 2 test. So to take these notes, I suggest you go to your Hamlet Lit Circle inside a Google Classroom, which hopefully you already have it open because you were doing the Lit Circle with the teacher. You're going to open it up, and then I would just say someplace on the bottom of the sheet, type dramatic irony, type double entendre, and then that's going to be where you take your notes. That way you have them digitally, you can use them on the test, because I am going to ask you about those two terms. All right, now that we've got that done, so what is double entendre? Double entendre is when you say one thing but mean something else. It's usually when it's going to be a sexual joke, but not always. So here's some examples. I don't know if you cook, but if you cook, especially barbecue, you use something called pork butt in order to make pulled pork sandwiches. So this is a barbecue restaurant, and on their sign it says, "You can smell our butts a mile away." Ha ha ha. So obviously that literally means like you can smell our pork butts a mile away, but then it's got a sexual, like funny connotation as well, that you can smell like their butts, right? Hopefully I don't have to explain that to you too much. Next one. This one I'm not going to explain, okay? Here we have a guy taking off a glove, but then we also have a secondary meaning. Let me show you two more examples, okay? It's got a double entendre there. And then the last one I think speaks for itself. So double entendre is when you say one thing but you mean something else. Sometimes there's a sexual meaning with it, sometimes there is not. What I'd like you to do now is I want you to pause the video and I want you to Google what a fishmonger is. Okay, so pause the video, Google real fast what a fishmonger is. I'll give you a moment to do that. All right, I'm assuming at this point you've Googled what a fishmonger is, and you probably got something like it's a person who sells fish. But that is the literal meaning. The secondary meaning for a fishmonger during Hamlet's time is also somebody who sells women, so like a pimp. In order to answer the question that I'm asking you on the Lit Circle, I'm going to scroll up. That's going to be letter G. Why does Hamlet call Polonius a fishmonger? Explain the double entendre. Now that you know there are two meanings for a fishmonger, I want you to explain that double entendre. If you're having trouble with dramatic irony, letter E, I'm going to teach you real quick what dramatic irony is. So, dramatic irony, we're leaving double entendre. Dramatic irony is when you know something that the characters in a story do not. One of the most famous examples of this is going to be Romeo and Juliet. If you haven't seen the play, I'm going to ruin it for you real quick. Juliet fakes her death so that way she can go be with her boyfriend Romeo. Romeo finds her and he's like, "Oh my God, Juliet's really dead." So then we know as the audience that Juliet faked her death, but we watch Romeo on stage, who is not aware of it, decide since Juliet is dead, I'm going to take my own life, and then he kills himself. Well then Juliet wakes up, sees that Romeo is dead, and then she kills herself as well. That is dramatic irony. When we knew something, like we knew that Juliet was faking her death, yet not all the characters in a story or a play know it, such as Romeo, who was unaware that Juliet was dead. I'm going to show you some other good visual examples of dramatic irony. So we've got this bird here who's just chilling, and then he's unaware that the snake in the background is going to get him. And then also a famous example from Jaws. It's what they used on their movie poster. We've got this woman who's swimming here, just going along, and then we as the audience see the shark coming from below who's going to eat her. Okay, so dramatic irony is when we know something that the other characters in the play do not. I'm going to bring back up your Lit Circle. In the play, we know that Hamlet is acting mad because he wants to find out who killed his dad. Yet Polonius thinks Hamlet is acting mad because he wants / loves Ophelia, but she don't love him back, or at least she's acting that way. So this is dramatic irony. We know the truth is that Hamlet is acting mad because he wants to find out who killed his dad, yet Polonius thinks he's acting mad because he wants / loves Ophelia, but Ophelia does not return that love, okay? I want you to tell me, so that's not the right answer, I just put that there so you can look at it. Describe the impact of Shakespeare's use of dramatic irony. How does knowing something the characters on stage do not impact how you interpret the scene? How do you see Hamlet differently? How do you see Polonius differently? All right, as always, if you have any questions, I do not want you sitting there confused and not getting anything done. It is okay to have 1 or 2 blanks on your lit circle, but if it's not making sense to you at all and all of them are blanks, you need to send me an email, midavis@lusd.net, so that way I can get back to you and give you help. All right, I'll see you guys on Friday.